Welcome back into another video. In today's video, we're going to talk about new clues for the next licensed chapter in Dead by Daylight. There's a lot of possible big licenses out there, and some information on Twitter as well as some analysis of previous licensed chapters can help us form some ideas for what's most likely to come in the future. How's it going, everyone? My name is Schmuckles. Make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more content like this. I also stream on Twitch. The link for that is in the description below. The first major clue that we're going to talk about is this really strange tweet from Matthew Cote on Twitter. He said yesterday, "Sometimes I'm working on something that I think is going to be really cool for DBD. And then I see some post begging for that specific thing, and it takes everything I have not to say anything, but it makes me happy. So there." It seems like Cote is alluding to a licensing deal that happened recently. We know that the soonest the next licensed content will come into DBD is the 6-year anniversary. If you want to know why, you should watch this video. This Twitter post seems like a way for Cote to express his excitement without revealing too much. It seems like a deal was closed recently behind the scenes. What license could Cote be talking about? It has to be something that was begged for. I found a few under the radar possibilities that Cote might have seen recently that are requesting chapters. The first one is this Chucky tweet that tagged me, Polly, King, and Cote a week ago. In this tweet, Alexis tagged Matthew Cote and shared a video about how Chucky would hook survivors. This matches the profile of a license that somebody begged for recently that Cote could have seen. It could very well mean that Chucky is the next licensed content in DBD. Another post I found was this one here. This post is about a new horror film called Malignant. This is so bizarre. Somebody brought this to my attention recently. What I'm about to say is unconfirmed, but the person who brought this to my attention said that they heard rumors that Behavior was already in contact with the license holders of this film to get this horror hit into DBD. Again, it was like they heard from someone who heard from someone who heard from someone. I wasn't able to find a primary source for these rumors, and I want to be transparent about that. But hearing all this news about Malignant and then seeing this tweet and then seeing Cote post this tweet is bizarre. And even more strange, the license holders for this film is New Line Cinema. These are the same license holders that licensed Freddy Krueger into Dead by Daylight, so Behavior already has a relationship with these license holders. Would Behavior bring Gabriel from Malignant into DBD? I have no idea, but at the very least, it's super sus. I don't want to spoil that film, but I watched it and it's an excellent take on horror. And I absolutely think that the story and the killer would fit into Dead by Daylight. Another thing that crossed my mind is I posted a BioShock video pretty recently. Possibly Cote somehow saw that. I feel like these videos get a good amount of traffic, so it's possible that Cote was talking about BioShock. There was also a post about a fan-made amnesia killer concept. This was on September 12th. Cote could have seen that too, although the video didn't get that many views. Also, another thing is this guy named Polyester begs for Candyman all the time. There was a lot of attention on The Walking Dead recently too. The actor who plays Daryl, Norman Reedus, posted a Huntress picture on his Instagram. Dead by Daylight liked it, and according to Polyester, Norman turned off comments for this post too. Norman Reedus, who has 7.2 million followers on Instagram, only follows 3,600 people, and Dead by Daylight is one of them. Even stranger, Dead by Daylight has 510,000 followers on Instagram and only follows 45 people, and Norman Reedus is one of those 45 people. Seeing Norman Reedus and DBD follow each other on Instagram is not too dissimilar from when we saw the Stranger Things cast follow Matthew Cote on Twitter shortly before the Stranger Things chapter came out. If Behavior has recently closed a deal for a Walking Dead chapter recently, we probably wouldn't see it until chapter 24 or 25. This is because we know it takes about 8 to 12 months to fully flesh out a chapter. We know this because the DBD Resident Evil collaboration started about 8 months before we saw the Resident Evil chapter. This interview is from October 2020.
It's been described as the Hall of Fame of horror, so it's a very different negotiation position. So now we get actually poked by, it happened actually very lately, we get poked by some people who own very important and exciting licenses, and they go, you know what, we think our characters would be great in your game. And so that's fun. That's fun when it happens.
And we know that Cote definitely wasn't talking about the Hellraiser chapter here, because in an interview, he said that they reached out to the Hellraiser IP owners.
When you were doing Hellraiser, did the people come to you? Did you come to them? I always find that story a little bit interesting.
In this case, I believe it's us that reached out.
So this is approximately the right time frame for chapter 24 or 25. The Walking Dead also had a recent crossover. It was announced on September 18th on a game called Brawlhalla, and this was AMC's Walking Dead characters. In fact, if Daryl in a Walking Dead chapter was to come into DBD, Behavior would definitely have to go through AMC. You can tell because at the end of the Walking Dead Onslaught trailer, AMC Network Entertainment is listed as the IP owners. So based on my understanding, Cote could have been talking about Chucky, Malignant, BioShock, Amnesia, or The Walking Dead in his tweet. Also, in general, when trying to speculate the next licensed chapter in Dead by Daylight, social noise is very important. If people are spamming for DBD collabs on Twitter or other social media, it can actually get the IP owner's attention.
Does it help with people spamming or social media? Does it help you?
That's actually the knee-jerk answer is no, stop it. But that's not true, because sometimes licensors or brands will notice social media noise and will be interested in knowing what is that game that people keep spamming me about. So it might have a positive impact. It might.
So when Behavior teased the Deathslinger, they had everyone thinking it was Pinhead, probably on purpose. This creates social noise, which could have gotten the attention of Park Avenue Entertainment.
In this case, I believe it's us that reached out, and oftentimes it's interesting because people go, oh, you're interested. Oh, cool, let's talk. And it happens like that.
So Cote talked about wanting Pinhead for years, and then they teased Pinhead with the Deathslinger chapter, and then a year later we saw the Hellraiser chapter. This whole strategy reminds me of Pennywise. Cote has talked about wanting Pennywise in so many interviews, and then they teased Pennywise for chapter 21. This definitely could have been to generate social noise to get the attention of New Line Cinema. Interestingly, Behavior probably tried to tease Candyman for chapter 16 to create social noise for him, but it just didn't happen. There was a lot of on-the-nose stuff that happened where people were tricked into thinking chapter 16 was Candyman when it turned out to be Pyramid Head. I actually want to cover how exactly to identify those on-the-nose fake teasers versus the legitimate teasers, but I'm going to save that topic for a future video. Let's talk about the updates to this Candyman tweet. A lot of people have told me, Schmuckles, this tweet is definitely talking about Tony Todd voicing Venom in the new Spider-Man game. I'm honestly struggling to get on board with that because this tweet explicitly said Candyman horror game. But I mean, Tony Todd is very cryptic with his replies on Twitter. He interacts with a lot of people and he has very simple worded replies. So I guess this tweet could have been for the new Spider-Man game. Update on the Candyman status. Yesterday, Tony Todd said he was off to a voiceover session. Josh Gaming asked if it was another voiceover for Venom, and Tony Todd said, actually not today, something else. I'm not sure what to make of that, but it's out there. Obviously, Behavior could have also been trying to create social noise for Springtrap during the chapter 21 teasers. In my opinion, the most obvious sign of this was putting the SLP in the video teaser. That stands for super long play and makes complete sense for a FNAF security camera. They were probably playing off all the hype that had been built up for Springtrap at that time. So based on social noise, which they've probably used in the past, Pennywise, Candyman, and Springtrap seem like possible next licenses. We'll definitely post more videos as more information comes out. Make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more content like this. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one.